Cod, coming up on 8 o'clock Cape Cod time. We're back down on the Cape, and I got a couple of days ahead. Monday, Tuesday, maybe a shortened day on Tuesday, we'll see. But anyway, I wanted to run out and see how the boat is. It's kind of a tradition when we get here to just see what kind of shape the tarp is in, and then we'll maybe get on board a little bit later this evening if everything looks good and we've got no rain coming. So I'll kind of outline to you at that time what we got planned as far as work on the boat while we're here. All right, well, the mast and the boom are still up, getting completely entangled in vines at this point. I'll go trim those out tomorrow. Let's see what we got. Oh, that's looking sweet. Excellent. Starboard is looking good. Looks like port held up pretty good too, so we're good. Very good. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't we do this? I'm going to take you around front and show you something I got planned. And again, we're back on with the deck, but this time I came prepared. As you know, before we ever left the last time, during the week we went to the launch, I had received already here at the house a brand new batch of fairing compound. Well, here's what I brought with me this time, and these are what I'm going to be using to use as battens over the boat. These things are nice and flexible. And I brought the clamps to be able to put them on the tow rails on each side and bend it over and so that we can see where our highs and lows are. And I've got enough here to basically cut several of them to use them down the whole length of the foredeck there. So that's the idea for tomorrow. There's all my clamps. Those should work just fine. These are really good strong clamps, and just clip them right onto the tow rails, and they'll hold down each end of the batten as it's stretched across the foredeck. And I had a whole batch of extra rubber gloves while I was that I noticed back up at the house in Vermont. I don't need them up there, I need them here, so I brought those back down. So anyway, that's the idea for tomorrow, and we'll see where it goes. Tomorrow morning, I've got to take my mom up and get a couple of errands done in the morning, but then we should be good to start working, maybe by late morning, something like that. So anyway, but welcome back to Cape Cod, and work is planned. It's now 5 o'clock on a Monday, which is normally one of my work days when I'm down here on the Cape working on a little girl. However, under the circumstances, this has been rain, thunderstorms, messy. In the morning hours, it was all about taking Mom to get some errands done for the house and for her. So that all got done. I got into the afternoon hours, and then we started getting the rain. So basically what I have is a few hours this evening I'm going to salvage toward getting something done that's been in the works for a very, very long time. I don't know if you remember, a couple of years ago, I took my old original sail, my big mainsail, and big for my boat. I took the old original mainsail, spread it out, took one look at it, and all the seafarer emblems were just in tatters. It was pathetic. And I very patiently not only took the tatters off, but I took thousands and thousands of stitching threads out of the original sail, cut brand new emblems with the seafarer emblem there, and put it on both port and starboard sides of the sail. And came out looking great. From the ground, you can't tell that's a brand new seafarer emblem up there. But in the meantime, the other part of the sail that looks really raggedy and awful is the 23 that's up there. In other words, indicating a 23-foot sailboat. And that was part of the original sail. And so what I did, I ordered a 2 and a 3, and I'll show you here in a minute. I ordered a matching set of 2s and 3s, set for each side of the sail, but never put them on. and they are in tatters too. One side is worse than the other. And so those are things that never got done. Uh, I thought I would start this evening, get the sail out, take a look at it, see what's involved. I'll obviously include, let you guys watch what's going on here, because I mean, I've got to make some decisions. Am I going to go ahead and take out the couple thousand stitches of the 223s? If I am, that's a time-consuming business. Although once I got going, I did it on those two Seafarer emblems, and it came out great. You can't tell. I mean, they still look fantastic up there. And so, anyway, that's my little project here for the evening hours. My brother and his family are coming over. We're going to grab some supper. But in the meantime, I've got some time before that I'm going to get the sail out. We're going to take a look at it, and then we'll kind of make a decision and kind of go from there. And after they leave tonight, I'm going to be right back down here trying to work on this and see how much we can get accomplished this evening. All right, let's take a look at what we got to go with. Well, here they are. I just got them out of my Sailrite box that I've had hanging around forever. And there's a couple of sets of 23. But I had forgotten that these are in black, not the blue. And that's why I want to take out the sail, unfold it enough to be able to get to these and see where we're at. You know what? Up there, 26 feet up the mast, or 23 feet, depending on where these are. Probably nobody can tell that they're black instead of blue, but that's what we've got, and that's what they sent me. Yeah, I remember being kind of disappointed about that when we got them. Okay, so let's go ahead and get the sail out, and let's take a look. Okay, well, now you can see what we're dealing with. This old fabric has just shot all to pieces. And you know what? I think that's black. I think that is black. That's not blue. So the color is going to be the same. And this though, I don't have, they didn't send me a little line like this, but that's not a problem because I can use this. This is exactly the same stuff. Well, this is what I used, and this is one of the Seafarer emblems I cut out myself and put on the sail. And there's one on each side. And this is very accurate to the Seafarer emblems. I was very careful with all the measurements and the angles and all this kind of stuff. So got one of these on each side. Meanwhile, this is black. This is not blue. And that's fine. That'll work for me, except for one thing. And nobody's going to be able to tell this from the ground. Once all those stitches are removed and the new 3 goes on, which is adhesive, okay, it's a different looking 3. You can see the difference. More blocky, okay, than the original. But once you take that 3 off from there and put the new 3 up there, you're not going to be able to tell. And it'll renew the look of it. It won't be all hanging in tatters like it is. And it's even worse on the other side. This is pretty bad, but I'm not going to turn this over. It's tough down here with limited space in this bedroom. But I do have room enough to work on these one set at a time. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to get out my knife, and I think I found a seam ripper last time that I was able to get things started with a very fine, careful cutting of some of these in tight, and then slowly but surely you can start to unravel everything. But all right, that's it. I'm going to get to work. All right, well, these are cutting pretty easily. I mean, the thread is pretty much all gone in terms of, like sun rotted, that kind of stuff. That's not a problem. It was worse on the big emblems. Those are pretty much intact. But I mean, you can see I'm popping these with no problem at all. The problem is I got to go all the way around. I mean, it's just a long process. And in order to remove all these, you actually have to go on the other side. Right now they're starting to give way a little bit, but you have to turn this over, and all the threads pull out from the other side. Tell you what, I'm close enough to the top here. I may go ahead and show you how that happens. But I remember so well how long it took to just remove all the fragments of thread. I wish I had my other knife. But this is working. It's very sharp. I just sharpened this. And so I don't know if you saw that, but that just popped out of there with no trouble. I mean, these threads are pretty much gone. Okay, I'm going to turn this over and give you a look at what we're talking about. Okay, I already started pulling this, and you can see what happens. You start pulling on it, and the whole thing starts to come unravel from this side. See that? See all that line pulling out there? That's what we're talking about right there. And you just have to go through and cut everything on the other side, and then everything pulls out on this side. See that? Isn't that beautiful? There we go, yeah. And I don't remember how far I've cut on the other side. I'm doing this, by the way, holding the camera in one hand and trying to do this with my knife in the other hand. But the beauty of it is you do that all the way around. The whole, all that scrap fabric, rotted fabric comes away, and you're left with a clean surface and a good outline of where you want to put your new number. So anyway, okay, I'm not gonna bore you with a lot of this because it's pretty repetitive. See already, because I cut all that on the other side, I think we're beyond where I've done cutting on the other side, but it's starting to unravel further back now. I love it. Come on, get into there. It's hard looking through a camera and doing this, by the way. All right, I'm gonna go to the other side. We'll catch you up in a few minutes when we get a little more of this done. Okay, I've done enough ripping out on the back side of this to where now I'm starting to get a lot of this just really easily coming out, and the old fabric has had, you can tell it had a little bit of adhesive right along the edge. Well, it's very easy to scrape off. By the way, be really careful in using your knife not to in any way put pressure down onto the sail itself. Duh. That's a given, right? But just be really careful. And yeah, it's kind of gratifying when this stuff all starts coming away. The stitches start pulling out easily, and then you just kind of patiently have to start picking at it and trying to get the remnants of the stitches pulled up and out of the sail. But it's a doable thing. It's time consuming, but the beauty of it is when you want a brand new set of numbers up there, it's going to look really nice when you get done. So I'm going to shut up and get back to work here. You know what? I'm going to try to do a little bit of this on. So you know that you didn't see that, right? I just pulled on that. See, the back thread is all completely gone on that now, and see there's that little bit of it is being adhered. Get some adhesive on it. Let me see if I can see with my knife. Yeah, it just comes right off. Goes right off. Anyway, yeah, it's a nitpicky business, but the beauty is when you get done, you'll still see the outline where your number needs to be, but all the threads will be gone, and everything will lay on there nice and cleanly, and the new adhesive stuff on the back of these things, man, it's just once it goes down, it's down. And the only thing you need to be worried about is just making sure you get it down nice and straight and making it look right when it's finally in place. So, all right, I'm going to get back to work doing this and not having to hold the camera at the same time. I'll bring you guys back in when I get most of this all done, and we'll set things up and get the new number on. Last thing before I continue on my own here, well, just to let you know, little girl is over 50 years old. If this sail is original, that means this sail is 50 years old. I know some of you guys are saying, wow, that's impossible. I don't know. You tell me. You might want to comment on that. But as far as I'm concerned, it shows all the signs of a sail that has been pretty well taken care of. I mean, there are patches on it. Hello. Well, no, that's for the that's not for a patch. Here's something you want to be very careful of. When you have number stitches that are crossing regular sail stitches that hold the sails together, be very careful you do not cut the sail stitches. I mean, here you've got 2 lines of the stitching that is actually holding this sail together, and you got to be careful you do not go in here and cut those, because I mean, this is a major line coming down across here, and it runs in parallel with it for a few minutes, for you know, for several stitches. So you got to be really careful what you're cutting. Anyway, yeah, I'm watching this like a hawk, but I've got a lot of this is already done. I'm not going to back it up in short right now. I'm going to just go ahead and keep going, but it's coming. That's all I'm doing for tonight. Been leaning on one elbow and doing this, and about had it. Working on both sides, working from the top side here and turning it over and undoing the stitches back there and pulling them through, and it's a lot of time expenditure and a lot of effort. This is still a tricky area right here where the stitching for the 3 crosses over the sail stitching, and I'm going to go real slow with that because I do not want to cut stitches that go to the making of the sail. But anyway, that's it. Very time consuming. This is just one letter. I've got 3 more to go after this, plus the bar that goes across the bottom. And the way I do things, I'm determined every single stitch is coming out of there before the brand new numbers go on. So that's it. I think we're going to call it quits for tonight. And this is a sail. This is a project that's going to have to go home with me. I do not have time down on the Cape when I'm here with the boat to be doing this. The only reason this is getting done is because we had rain and thunderstorms and rain. And so this has ended up being a rainy day night or afternoon, evening project. And I feel pleased that I got done as much as I did. This is, all the stitches are out of this. You can see that little line of glue that they put around the edges to hold everything in place while the stitching goes in. But I've still got some stitching to come out. You know, you can see, well, that's pretty much out there. And anyway, okay, that's it. That's it. So this will go in as part of my next video, but just letting you know, this is not a project that gets done quickly. You know, you just got to be patient with it and have several sit-down times or lay-down times. I'm on the floor down here. And just be patient and just keep working with it. And it finally all gets done, and then you can put your new numbers down. Well, good morning, guys. About 10 minutes to 7 right now. I'm going to go ahead and get the foredeck all uncovered. My brother's coming over about 9:30, and we're going to go for a ride on his boat. And anyway, hope to be back around noontime and be able to get back up on the foredeck and try to get some work done. But in the meantime, I'm going to set everything up and show you what we got coming as far as how we're going to be doing this and figuring out the highs and lows, the spots that we need to work on with our fairing compound. So let me get out there. I've got to get the boat all untied and get the tarp pulled back so we can get to work up there. We're up here. Everything's uncovered. A long way to go to get this deck faired. But it looks wet or damp. There was a little dampness that got under it. It didn't make a hill of beans. It's still solid as a rock. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go get my clamps in the house, and then I'm going to get up here with my fairing rods. That's what I'm calling them. There's probably another term for it, but I'll figure it out later. And I'm going to start setting this up to know where the highs and lows are. Obviously, you can see some of the highs. So you can see right there where I was sanding, and that's high in the middle. But it's supposed to be high in the middle. Like I said, everything is high in the middle and, you know, falling off to the outside, you know, port and starboard. So, okay, let me go get all the equipment and let's, you know, see how this works. I mean, that's how I've got it visualized anyway. So I'll be right back. And I cut it to size going across the width of the boat. And by the way, the ironic thing is, it's just the right length, you know, from the behind the breasthook to the front of the cabin too. That's probably planned. Okay, so I'm here right in front of the cabin, and this is perfectly sized to be able to go all the way across. Now what you can see is you're low here, and that's fine. That's the way it's supposed to be. And you're low over there, okay, but you're high right in the middle, and that's exactly the way it's supposed to be. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a clamp on both sides. See if I can get this right. I don't know if this is going to work. Okay, well, that's down. And I'm going to have to clamp it over there. I'm going to have to come forward a little bit in order to be within clamping range. You'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. Okay, that's down. You see, I'm about 2 inches out in front of the cabin, and I'm going to go over there with another one of these clamps and clamp that down, and then I'm going to be able to look along here and see where it's low, and obviously it's going to be high right in the center, and that's the way it's supposed to be. So I'll be with you in just a minute. Okay, see, that's not too bad over the port. A little bit low, just right there, just coming off the center, but that's not bad. Like over here, we have a considerable pocket. This is where some of the damage was done that I had to rework. So I'm going to have to bring this up right through here, from about there to there. I'm going to have to get some more fairing compound in there and bring this whole area up. And when I put my hand there, I can feel the indent, and so that's going to have to come up. And I've got my marker. I'm going to start marking this up. And it's not going to look pretty, but that's the whole point, is just know where you need to put some more fairing compound and make the corrections. Second batten out. It's almost perfect going to port. Well, coming off the center, going to port, but then over here, you've got some more of that pocket that starts way back here. So basically, we've got a low here, starting back here, just not too far in front of the cabin, and this continues to be low all the way out here. So that means with my marks here, here's where I'm going to start the fairing compound, and I'm going to feather it this direction, but I've got to go from feathered here to deep in the middle. And like I said, and basically we're looking to fill this like a bay here. This is all low, and I can feel it. You know, when I run my hand over it, I can feel how low that is. You know, who knows how this stuff all starts. But anyway, these two are already marked. I've got another batten already cut, and I'm cutting them now to have an edge that follows the tow rail line. And once I get over there, I'm going to satisfy myself that I've got everything marked out the way I want it to. Then these can come off, and I can use the clamps. I've only brought 5 clamps with me. And I can go over there, clamp that one, and then we'll look at this and see what changes we've got to make. But keep in mind here, this whole center section is a little bit low from right about here to here. Okay, from here to here, it's about as low because we already marked that out. All right, let me stay with this, and I'll get back to you in a minute. Someplace it's almost perfect. This port side on this particular batten is just about perfect, all the way from the center to the tow rail, and that's so good. This is one place I'm not going to have to work on it. Over here, just a little bit on this side, not much, but I'm going to be fairing this out anyway, smoothing it out, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to just go ahead and fill it, come right off from this flat back here and out onto it. Like I said, from about there on, that's where you got to fill, and back there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pull a clamp here and get this next batten tied down, and we'll see how it looks. Well, I wish they all look like this. This is not bad at all. We're not even going to have to do anything on this. We'll be doing some smoothing in the middle, but that's really looking pretty good. Very good. All right. Well, so everything basically starting at the front of the cabin and coming on back, we've got some work to do there. And particularly, like I said, we're gonna check our dip coming off the behind the breast hook up here and coming back. I'm going to see how much that sags in the middle. I just want to check it, and we'll do that in a few minutes. By the time you get this far forward, you're almost dead level flat. You got a little pocket right in here, but not bad, and that'll correct out when I do the final fairing. I can feel the pocket right there. I can feel it. I'm going to mark it right now. but this is not bad. It's pretty much good all the way across. So as of right there, this is really, really good. I mean, it's sloped to the outside, high in the center, and this one right here, about 3 feet back from the breast hook. Man, that's just dead level. That's where all the rest of them need to be in terms of how the fairing strip rod, whatever you want to call it, the fairing strip lays. Man, it is just so good. All right, well, I'm going to mark the other side. I've got a couple of markings to do on this, and then we've gotten a tremendous amount accomplished here in terms of knowing what we've got to do, where we've got to put the new fairing compound in. And I got, like I said, brand new fairing compound that came in. It's down the bedroom, and I'll get that up here. And after we get back from this boat ride, we'll get on this and try to get some of this done this afternoon. I think we may. We won't be done, but we're getting there. Anyway, yeah, very cool. We've got everything all marked up with, including depths. Like that needs about 1/8 of an inch there. Right down here on this one, you need about 3/16 of an inch, all the way from the center out to that mark right there. Back there, it's 1/4 of an inch. You get the idea. And I'll be continuing to check these as I go along, and for depth and how all the fairing is laying in to see if it's measuring up to what I'm hoping it will and what I'm going to be working on. Anyway, all right, let's go grab some breakfast. We're good. This has been a productive morning so far. Now we'll see you back. This is where we're going to start next time. Let me move this stuff back. Like I said, I've already got enough of the old fairing compound. There's still plenty in there to do this hollow back here. That's where we're going to start. I've got my piece of cardboard. I'm going to bring a bunch of squares like this of cardboard down from Vermont. I don't have any down here to work with. But anyway, got my tools are ready. And we're going to start right here. Start filling in. Come straight off from the front of the cabin here and fill in this and get and you can just, if you put your hand on it, you can feel the hollow right here. And all that we're going to come off from right about there and just come right over and try to get all this filled in and smooth out. And then we just kind of go from there. Remember that this third batten up here is so good all the way across. I'm not going to have to do a stinking thing. I've got it marked okay, with arrows on it and everything, to where by the time we get, about 3 feet back from the bow, from behind that breast hook, this is good to go here. But then you've got a bit of a hollow that comes down through here, and this is where you can see, let me see this. It says 3/16 from here over to right about here. Where are we? Right there. That's gonna be filled in and bring it up. And actually, that's a continuation of what you got going here. This is gonna come right up here and fill this area. Anyway, that's what we're gonna be doing next time. And in the meantime, it's been a crazy trip. We got some work done on the sail. But other than that, between the rain and the thunderstorm, just didn't work out. So let me turn it around. Here we are back out on a foredeck of a little girl. I was getting ready to go ahead and get some work done this afternoon, but something has come up, and we got to get back up to Vermont. And so I'm not going to be able to get this foredeck work done. Thanks for coming by Restoring Little Girl. It's a never-ending project. I just told my brother when we were out on his boat a little while ago, he had invited me out for a motor across Nantucket Sound for a bit. So I was just telling him when we were out there, I said, after this foredeck is done and I get there, all the accoutrements back on and she's looking good, I think that's going to be the last I do of work on Little Girl for a while, and then concentrate on some sailing. Concentrate on having her in and being able to spend some time just enjoying what I've done all this work for, and that's to be on board and spend time and to get in some good sailing. You know, again, I want to do that Kuwait trip again and some others. So. All right, guys, again, thank you for stopping by Restoring Little Girl, and we'll catch you guys next time down.